What's up, guys? Nolan here. Because of the topic and because of just situationally what's going on and what people are thinking and just what might happen, and that just as the full story, I'm not going to do a scripted video here, but I do want to make sure that we get some proper information out ahead of the unscripted stuff, really. So there has been an update to the game today. The snow is still around. However, it could be some kind of like a transition period. I'll be putting some pictures up on screen as long as I get them from people in Discord. I was live while I was waiting for the patch playing some Broken Arrow, which if you're interested, by the way, you should check out my second channel, which is just NoiceGuy. I'll have a link in the description if you're interested in like RTS games and MMOs and stuff like that. So quick plug there for that. But anyway, while we were waiting, there were some people that said they were able to get in and they were seeing some fog and stuff like that. I haven't seen it myself because I wanted to go and make this video, and we have this response from Nikita. So I wanted to get over here. So seems like there could be something going on in game. There might be a little bit of change of weather. Either way, I think it's going to be more significant, if not the actual beginning of that change on Thursday. So I think something is going to happen in terms of environment on Thursday. Other stuff for the patch. We've got the patch notes here, so let me read through those real quick. Okay, now that I'm looking at this seems edited. I don't know if this seems different than what it was before. I don't think this list was like this now that I'm looking at this. This is weird. Anyway, so I think they've made some changes, but it seems to all still be here. The list of fixes is enormous. There's a ton of fixes, so I'll put a picture up on the screen so you guys can see this, but the list of changes is pretty cool. It's reworked damage through layers of armor. Now, when each layer is penetrated, the bullet loses some penetration power and damage depending on the characteristics of the penetrated armor. Fixed an issue with missing blunt damage when hitting a ballistic plate. So what I think is going to happen, and this is going to take a couple hours to post, so I'm thinking what people are probably finding out in game right now is that when you got hit in the chest and the bullet was stopped, where we weren't getting blunt damage, I guess that was a bug. So it seems like what's going to be happening now is, as long as, because this next line here is talking about it, there is something behind that plate that was not penetrated, you will still get some kind of blunt damage. So blunt damage is now decreased when there is soft armor behind the unpenetrated component. So when you have some kind of blocker there, when you have some kind of cloth, whether you have some kind of aramid or whatever it might be, you have something between that plate and your body, whatever kind of vest it is, you will no longer get you will no longer get blunt damage. You will now get a bit of blunt damage. We'll just see how much that is. Personally, I liked it before. I think it kind of made more sense before. Personally, we'll see. They've adjusted a few things as well. They've changed some things up when it comes to the hitboxes and stuff, because they said adjusted head colliders, ears, and eyes. So we'll see what's going on with that. Added the fits existing when it comes to ballistic plate inspector. Added the ability to fit granite BR4. So messing some stuff with some different kind of plates and different kind of vests and stuff. Whenever you guys are using your favorite plates, or if you're interested in using different plates or plate carriers, just check to see if your favorite plate and or plate character is now usable, or if it's something that is better for you when it comes to its stats and ability to use certain plates. That's the best thing I can say, because there's just a bunch of changes there. And of course, I'll have the stuff on the screen. Adjusted the recoil parameters for pistols, shotguns, and the SKS carbine. Does not say whether that is better or worse. Again, this is going to take a couple hours to go live, so people are probably finding out right now. Pistols were amazing. I loved pistols. I mastered a couple of them, starting with the Glock. I was adoring the Glock, so we'll see if they ended up making it worse. It was, I'll be honest, it was kind of overpowered. The pistols were insane. Like, they were very good, so we'll see. They probably nerfed it a little bit, but we'll see. Adjusted contact shadows to the BTR. Adjusted the random container spawn setting to reduce the chance of spawning an empty container. Thank you. Added the tenths of percentage display when viewing the total number of players who have completed an achievement. Okay. Adjusted the sound positioning system on Ground Zero and Streets of Tarkov. Go see what's going on with the sound with that. Good luck there. Sound's always kind of an iffy subject. Anyway, talking about some following plate carrier and body armor integrated components have been upgraded to class 3 and a bunch of different ones there. And then we have at the bottom, this is the real subject here. In the near future, the in-game stash expansion and access to the practice co-op mode will become available for purchase in the profile page on the official Escape from Tarkov website. Purchase of additional stash lines will be available regardless of the game edition. Purchasing access to the practice co-op mode will be available for all editions. For Edge of Darkness owners, the ability to play in practice co-op mode is available by default. So what they're doing here is the special stuff that was really part of the gameplay, like really something that people should have access to, that only Edge of Darkness got access to, which is offline co-op. People that don't own Edge of Darkness, because you can no longer purchase Edge of Darkness, it has a way to get to co-op offline. That makes, or offline co-op. That makes sense. Something that I reacted to, and I'll put a picture of my tweet up there so you guys can see it. Just to jog your memory in case you saw it earlier and you don't remember what I said, or if you hadn't seen it for the first place, or whatever. This is how I reacted to this next line. So, purchase of additional stash lines will be available regardless of the game edition. When I saw that for the first time, I was very confused. So I went and asked BSG, and the people that I talked to did confirm that is including Edge of Darkness. I did double confirm that, and they even told me how much it was going to be at the time. So I went and made a post on Discord. I went and made a tweet about it, making sure that everybody understood, especially with my history with BSG. In fact, I've actually said this a couple of times. There's only a couple of things that BSG could do to make me like really disappointed in them. And microtransactions, which if you guys haven't gotten the hint yet, or if you haven't gotten the point here, is that is a microtransaction, and I still believe that is a microtransaction. The ability to, it's not linked to an account. It's not. It goes along the lines of the argument whether or not it's pay to win, whether or not Edge of Darkness is pay to win and stuff. And I've always believed that Edge of Darkness is not pay to win. It does not allow you to win those. To win raids. It doesn't allow you to survive. It doesn't make you survive. It doesn't make you progress or anything like that. At least not significantly. You can still get the trader rep and you still get the money and stuff like that, but that's not necessarily progression, is it? And I think the same with this, but I still don't. I took an extra 30 minutes here to try and think about how to word this, but I think the best way that I can put it is like, it's just yucky. I don't like it, because we'll get to this in a second, but before we get to Nikita's response here, because we do have a response from Nikita too. It seems like it's just kind of like an obvious thing. It seems like you should buy this. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that's a bit yucky, where it's so good that it's like you really should buy this, and that's kind of where my brain's at with it. I don't really like it. I don't really necessarily agree with it. I wish that they figured out a different way of testing something or going about doing this first. And what I mean by that is this. So we'll bring up Nikita's response here. This is Nikita on Reddit. At the time of this reading, it was about 2 hours old, almost 2 hours old. So this is, in case you guys didn't know, Train Fender, especially on Reddit. Train Fender, Gene Burn, stuff like that. That's Nikita. And this is Train Fender on Reddit. So this is Nikita. So the thing is that we want to add purchasable options for EFT players, because we removed EOD version and some of the EOD features need to go back. Offline co-op, for example. The game is running for 8 years without any additional flow. You just buy and play it forever, and it's a pretty unique situation for a game such as EFT. That point right there was actually a subject of a video that I made several months ago. It's a hole that they have dug by not having the game complete and by having the game be what it is in terms of how you purchase it. Like, there's no subscription model. It's just, usually it would work. It's just that it's going on for a very long time, and the costs are really stacking up because of the server costs and stuff like that. So we've had this discussion before. There was going to come a day when they needed to figure out some other kind of revenue stream, something else to help out. And if you would like to have the argument whether or not they need the money, that's completely valid. I don't know. I feel like they've probably made enough, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it costs them for servers. I don't know what it costs them for finishing the game. I don't know how long they're planning on finishing this and stuff like that. That is an insane other discussion to have. My baseline, though, is I don't see a problem with it if they go about doing it the right way. And as I said in that video that I made, I think several months ago at this point, that's by way of cosmetics only, or maybe some kind of subscription model for something, some way that maybe a bunch of us get several months into, or something like that. I don't know. There's a couple of different things that they could have done. I was definitely okay when it comes to cosmetic microtransactions, which I know the whole point here is we're talking about microtransactions, but it's more along the lines of this. In the upcoming patches, we want to add 1 stash expansions for every version available, up to 28 additional lines. 28 additional lines of stash space. That's 280 slots. That's the base. That's the begin to escape, or whatever it's called. I'm blanking on it right now. I don't have it in front of me. Sorry, I forget the name. Or prepare to escape, I think it's called. That's 280 slots, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot. So that's why it feels weird to me, because it feels like you should buy that. If you are interested in the game, it feels like it. I wouldn't say need. You definitely don't need it. And then hopefully, I'm assuming I'm not alone in thinking this, but it feels weird. Like, I don't like it. I don't like that that's how they're starting off. I get it. I just don't like it. And then the next thing he says is clothing early unlock. Clothing early unlock. What do you mean early? So while I'm editing this and while this is uploaded, I got some messages out to Nikita. I made a mistake here by not messaging him first, but I had to finish up the stream. I got distracted. So I'm going to message him while this is editing. I'll make an edit if I need to. If you guys are hearing this right now, or if you're not seeing something on screen, or if I haven't amended this in any way, then I hadn't gotten a response yet. Or it is just the way that I'm mentioning it right now, which is it sounds like you buy what we unlock in game early. That seems counterproductive, but it also lines up with something that he's going to say in a little bit here. So we'll keep going here. Ability to play offline co-op EOD feature. Completely agree with that. Don't need to include that in the discussion. I think that makes complete sense. If you don't have Edge of Darkness, you can't play co-op offline. You should have an option to do that if you don't have Edge of Darkness because you can't buy it anymore. And then he says there will be no in-game money, items, weapons, gear package purchases, and so on. No boosters also. That's the biggest thing. If they even mentioned the possibility of any of those things becoming a possibility of a microtransaction, I would have taken Tarkov out of my name on the channel, and I'd say best of luck with them because that's a route that you don't really come back from, and it's a very slippery, not even slippery, like it's a very steep slope that I'm just going to assume the future is very bad, and I would be very careful of who I trust in gaming for the rest of my life. Because I've come to trust these guys quite significantly, and I still do. I think there's some ways that they could have done this differently, but I think the same way for a lot of things that they do. So we'll see how this ends up. It seems like if there was a way to do this, they're doing it the right way. We'll see how it goes. He also mentioned here, also about stash expansions, later you will also have an option to earn that lines in the game too without spending any money. That's the other thing here too. So that ties into clothing early unlock. So it seems like both the clothing and this stash expansion, which you can pay for, are earnable through gameplay. That's something that has been significant through the history of microtransactions. Can you even earn this in game? Except the thing that's keeping it yucky for me is they're doing it a bit backwards. This was something that you can earn in game. This is something that was unique in game. This is something that showed status in game. And now you can just shortcut it. Like you can buy it. It feels yucky. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm not saying I'm going to quit over it. I'm not saying that we should riot over it. I think that it's worth having further discussions. I think it's worth investigating more and thinking more and brainstorming more. And just generally speaking, I think it's yucky. What I absolutely need is your feedback. What do you guys think of this situation? I'll admit, there's a lot of videos where I say that, and it's just to like help with engagement and stuff like that, but this is a weird subject for me. I don't know if I am just tired because I haven't slept yet and it's 5 a.m. I don't know if Clown Guy is speaking here. I just feel weird about this. Maybe there's nothing wrong with this. Maybe I'm completely alone with this. I think that I think it's okay. Like, we're moving forward. I just think it's yucky with specifically the stash expansion. Give me your thoughts. We'll see if something changes in game. For the minute by minute stuff, make sure that you are following me on Twitter. Make sure that you've joined the Discord. Make sure you actually have notifications on for either of those so that you actually know when things are happening. Because I retweet this stuff. I talk about this stuff all the time. I would say the EFT role on Discord is the absolute best because I only ping that when there's something specific to Escape from Tarkov happening. The Twitter can be for the multiple channels and stuff like that, but there's also a bunch of stuff going on there too. And BSG tweet up there, Nikita tweets up there, other creators when they do interviews and when they find other stuff, it's up there. So anyway, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord to support what I do. Click all the buttons on the screen. Stay tuned for more. We'll see if there's other responses and stuff like that. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for watching and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.